106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
This is a conspiracy.
Restless! I love you.
Joe.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Movie Reviews No One Asked For. I am your host Seth, and these are my co-hosts Misty and Jason, and today we'll be talking about the 2022 film Triangle of Sadness, directed by Ruben Östlund. And the first thing I want to say about this film is rest in peace to Shelby Dean. She played the main female Yaya in this film. She sadly passed away right before this movie was released theatrically, so thoughts and prayers for her family and everybody around her. She was really good in this movie, and it was sad to hear that she passed, but this is our next edition of our Best Picture nominees for the 2023 season. This film was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Original Screenplay. This film is about models Carl and Yaya are invited for a luxury cruise with a rogues gallery of super rich passengers. At first, all appears Instagrammable, but the cruise ends catastrophically, and the group finds themselves marooned on a deserted island. For me, this film, it was not as strong as some of our other nominees that we had this past year, but it still wasn't a terrible film. One of the things I did want to say was I was really glad to see Woody Harrelson in the film, but he was only in it for like 5 to 10-ish minutes. He was not in it very long, which was sad, because a big name like Woody Harrelson, I know you want it to be a cameo, like, you know, maybe just a little bit of a smaller part, but still, he's a big name. He makes a movie more fun. All the Zombieland movies are so much fun because of him.
They are.
But really, this film, I did see that it won Best Picture at the Cannes Film Festival, which was, that's really when I started to learn more about it, and I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, it could be interesting, but who knows? And so we watched it, and I did enjoy it. Like I said, not as much as some of the other films that we have reviewed and will be reviewing, but I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it, but at the same time I didn't love it. There were parts of it I liked. Definitely there was some slapstick elements to it, mostly with like some of the editing or cinematography that you could definitely tell they took some inspiration from like some older slapsticks and stuff like that to kind of get some humor across in this kind of, not really a drama film, but it has drama elements, but it's kind of just a dark comedy. It's more of a like, look at all these rich people and all the bad things that are happening to them. It's just kind of that type of movie. Kind of like Parasite, but not as good.
So a lot of people have compared that. That's funny you said that, because I've seen a lot of comparisons to that movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, Parasite was amazing.
Oh yeah, Parasite is an amazing film.
Yeah.
We'll definitely have to do a review on that in the future. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the excessive puking scene. It was advertised everywhere on the posters and the trailer, everything. So when it happened, I was expecting it. I was not expecting it to be as long or as excessive as it was.
A little much.
But the director said he had free control over that, and he just wanted to take it as far as he could, and he did that. You don't really know his vision with that, but I'm sure there was a vision, and that's what he wanted to do. But I'm not gonna dock him for it. Shelby Dean did really good with her part as Yaya. I went into the film knowing about her passing, and it is sad to see how young she was. Really, she was only in her like early 30s, I want to say, and it's sad, but this is good for her final outing, I would say.
She was 32 when she passed. Yeah.
Harris Dickinson, who we just recently saw in the Kingsman, the newer one, the prequel to the Kingsman movies. Mm-hmm. He did good in this. Although he just was kind of there, he didn't really have like any distinguishative characteristics. Mm-hmm. He was just kind of there as just like the rich model guy. He didn't really have like too much story to him. He was just the typical rich guy that's just there. But another person I want to talk about was Dolly De Leon, who played Abigail in the film, who was more prominent in the second half of the film, but she really just she plays a good character. She's funny, and she just becomes like this a real rags to riches type trope. But other than that, like I said, the film was interesting. I didn't hate it, but at the same time I didn't love it. But there were parts of it I liked. There were some moments that got a laugh out of me, but there were other parts that bored me. It felt a little long, and they should have had Woody Harrelson in it for just a bit longer. I think.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't know. It was okay. I ended up seeing the second half of it again when my daughter watched it, and I think I enjoyed it a little bit more. That time I got a little bit more out of it than I did the first time watching it. The thing I did like about it, I'll just put that out there first, is I really enjoyed the whole, they kind of make fun of all like major political affiliations and social demographics, basically. They make fun of everybody kind of, and like, of course they make it to the extreme. It's kind of like a satire in my opinion. Like it's I don't know, it just shows like, you know, the rich is evil, and then, you know, models are conceited and only care about money, or, you know, I don't know. And then like, of course, the poor, the workers that are on the boat, or, you know, just are being treated like crap. And then once they get power, when they get, you know, it's kind of reversed and they take over the power and they get evil or whatever. I don't know. It just kind of makes fun of everybody. I did like that. The vomiting and puking scene, I've been a nurse for a long time, and to me that was even a little too much. It was just a little much. It was just too long.
And overblown, too. It was just a little...
Yeah.
I guess they tried to make it slapsticky with that, but it was just like, that. I mean, that's over the top.
It was. I mean, yeah. I mean, it doesn't bother me. It wasn't, like I said, I've been a nurse for 27 years. 27 years? God, I'm old. But it just... I don't know. And like you said, he probably had some kind of vision in his head, and he thought it was hilarious. I just wasn't that impressed with it. I loved Woody Harrelson, and of course I love Woody Harrelson anyway, which he's kind of funny. He's kind of that person that is going to be all conspiracy theorist and, you know, make fun of like any political affiliations and that kind of person anyway. I think in real life, like I've seen him say things and do things. Woody Harrelson and the guy, I'm so sorry because I'll probably butcher it. You know what? I'll just say the guy that played Dimitri, because I don't want to butcher his name. I wish they'd had like a podcast or something together, because they were hilarious talking like all this conspiracy and how like government's bad, and like it was just hilarious. That part I actually really enjoyed. That's what I got more out of the second part, was watching that, and then kind of seeing more of the social dilemma between the two, and I did enjoy that part. Otherwise, it just, I don't know, it was just kind of, and then the ending fell really flat for me. I don't like open endings. Yeah. Which they already know that. I don't know. It was okay. I mean, you know, you guys might end up enjoying it. I think our daughter liked it. This movie was just, it was okay. I mean, I don't hate it. It was okay.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't a great movie all the way through. It was kind of boring in parts, just kind of drawn out and long, I think. I will say, Woody Harrelson, I want to piggyback on what she just said. He was the best part. I think I found more enjoyment and pleasure out of him being the captain of this rich boat. And he really, you see how he just is like, oh, I got to deal with these people. He hides in his room, which was funny. He comes out for the meet and greet dinner that he has to do as the captain, and you could tell he's just annoyed, shaking hands and talking to everybody. He's eating a cheeseburger rather than steak, cheeseburger and fries, because that's his kind of meal. I found all that to be funny and
I'm
humorous.
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but you know, as you're saying that, it brings back Hunger Games, like where he's Haymitch. It's kind of the same thing. He kind of has that same, like he's very much like Haymitch in that. I mean, and I think he's very versatile as an actor, but I think. Yeah, that just, when you said that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
that just, I was like, gosh, that's pretty much Haymitch from Hunger Games.
But that was probably the best character in my mind. And like I think Seth said at the beginning, he wasn't in it long enough. It might have been better had he played a bigger role or a larger part. He had some very short scenes, which to me was the best part of the movie. It was long and drawn out. I guess I do see the whole reversing roles from rich depending on the poor, and poor taking control, and you know, all the different narratives that they paint throughout the movie. But I completely agree, the ending was horrible. I was like, we waited this whole time for this, and it's just gonna go. We watched this. It felt like 3.5 hours. I don't know how long the movie was, But it felt like 3.5 hours, and I was like, wow, that's the ending? They couldn't, like, wrap it up in a nice little bow?
It's 2.5 hours.
It's 2.5, felt like 3.5 hours. But, I mean, overall, I can see why some people would enjoy it. So make up your own mind. It wasn't the worst movie we've watched for these awards, and it wasn't the best movie we've watched for these awards. Somewhere in the middle is where this falls for me.
Yeah, and like we always say, just make sure you watch this film on your own. Get your own take on it, because it might be totally different from ours. You might love it, you might hate it. Who knows? And like, if you do watch it, just let us know what you thought in the comments. We'd love to read them. But that being said, I think we should come out with our rankings, our ratings for this movie. But the rankings will come later on. Yeah. But for me, I gave this movie 3.5, just because there were some parts that I did enjoy. There was some humor that I liked. There was Woody Harrelson, of course, and if there's parts of a movie that I do enjoy, I will rate it higher for that. So 3.5 was my final rating.
I gave it 2.5.
So as we sat here talking about it, as Seth was giving his rating, I went in and changed mine, because I had given it 2, but I've given a lot of movies 2 this time. So I went in and changed it to 2.5, make it slightly better, because it's not, again, some of the worst movies we watch. I think I gave 1.5 or 2 stars, so I moved it up a little bit, but it's not much higher than
That's
that.
funny, because I just did the same thing, because
Yeah.
I thought, there's a couple that I really just did not like, and this one is definitely better, so yeah, I did the same thing. That's fine.
Nice.
But just make sure you're keeping track with the videos we're uploading right now, because we're trying to do all 10 Best Picture nominees for the 2023 Oscar season. Because right before the Oscars, we will be dropping, just like last year, our ranking video for what we want to win the Best Picture award this year. So this will be a part of that, and just make sure you watch these videos before you watch our ranking, because we'll be going more in depth with our reviews in the movies in these videos than we will in the actual ranking video, just so we don't have it be too long and bore you guys out. But
Which we probably already do anyway.
Whatever.
other than that, we hope you guys enjoyed our review on The Triangle of Sadness, the 2022 film. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked, please subscribe, come back, comment your thoughts, anything like that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.